So my entire steering setup is pretty much shot. All the tie rod ends, everything going from the pitman arm down to this connecting tie rod. All the joints are pretty much shot, so I'm replacing everything. And I was able to find everything online except for this connecting tie rod there. And for those that have a full-size Jeep and want to replace that part is extremely hard to find. Reason being is because everything on here you can replace, including these sleeves, the tie rod ends. Everything on here can be replaced through Moog. Moog is, they make awesome replacement parts, but this connecting tie rod, they completely discontinued. I actually called Moog and I asked them, I said, hey, why'd you guys just discontinue this one part? And they said, just the age of the vehicle. But I got a heads up on who to order this replacement part from, and they're actually made here in America. They're out of California. They're called rareparts.com. So I'm not getting too excited yet because I still have to open up the box and see how it looks. All right, here's a close-up of everything. And again, everything here is Moog, except for this connecting tie rod, which is rareparts.com out of California. But so far it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all mocked up and put together, and then take the old stuff off the Jeep. I just loosely fitted everything together. I wanted to make sure that everything was gonna just screw on without any problems. I wasn't gonna have any problems with the threads or anything like that. And I wasn't expecting any problems really, because these are all Moog parts except for this one part right here, which is the connecting drag link. This is the the Rare Parts part out of California. They claim that this part is built in-house. It's a good looking part, and it made it onto this Moog sleeve just fine. One other thing to keep in mind is that this setup here is for a wide track Jeep. So it's going on to a 77 Jeep Cherokee wide track, not a narrow track. The fastest way to know whether or not you have a wide track or a narrow track is on your Jeep. You're gonna have these fenders that stick out, okay? The narrow track does not have those wide fenders. All right, just really quick here. I wanna go over some part numbers. That way I don't have to put it in the description. And this is kind of interesting too as well, because I wanted to just share this with you. I thought this was kind of interesting. But so this sleeve here, these two sleeves are identical, and they both have identical part numbers: ES362S, ES362S, but one's made in China and this one's made in Canada, which I just thought that was interesting. But again, no problems at all mating the Rare Parts part onto this sleeve. And as far as the part number for this is part number 26344, Rare Parts. That's the connecting tie rod, which is basically the drag link. And then in regards to these ends, this tie rod end here is ES453L, made in the USA. And again, this end is for the drag link side. And then on the tie rod end side, this end here, part number ES452L, made in the USA. And this long tie rod end here is part number DS915. Okay, I ran into an issue with this bottom tie rod end, but the issue is actually this part number. I'm gonna have to sub this part number, ES452L. That's this tie rod end. It uses this style of boot. The owner's manual for the Jeep is asking for, or the pictures show this style of a tie rod end dust cover. And what's on the Jeep currently on both ends is this style here. So what I did is I went to Oreillys, and what I'm gonna do is I found this part number here, ES453L. So this here, right style of dust cover, is going to replace this end here, ES452L. I hope that makes sense. So this part number is going away. There, this part's going away, and I'm installing this instead. So that way I'm closer to the OE part as far as form and function. I'm getting closer to the original equipment stuff, and that's what I want. So I don't want to have any issues. This to me just doesn't seem like, I'm sure this would work, but again, I'm trying to get as close as possible to OE, and then that way it makes more sense to use a part that has the same exact style of tie rod end dust cover on both sides. Okay, just so you get a better picture of what's going on. So that's the original tie rod end here on the passenger side. That dust cover, see how it looks similar to the replacement part on this end? It's also going to be that end on the original equipment looks the same on the driver's side as well. Right there. So I want to make sure that I'm using the same tie rod end boot covers on both sides. That way everything is as close to original as possible. All right, now I have the new part, the Master Pro ES453L tie rod end installed. It went on there just fine onto the sleeve, no problems. So now we've got matching ends on that side. All right, so after a lot of persuasion, a lot of PB blaster, a lot of heat, I was able to get the old 40-year-old steering linkage off of there. The only thing that's left to do now is just remove this steering stabilizer bracket, get it onto the new tie rod, remove this connecting rod here, and measure it against the new one here, and take measurements of everything. Make sure they're exact, and then I'll throw them back up on the Jeep. Look how crusty these ends are here. All of the ends are just pretty much shot. They're in horrible shape, horrible condition. One thing I wanted to point out is that the new tie rod, they added, the way they're doing these now is they're adding this curve into the tie rod, because now it will allow you room for your pitman arm to swing freely without interfering. This is the old one here. It was straight. But so that's kind of nice that they're giving you that extra room just in case. And yeah, it looks great. So new stuff. Everything so far measures out really well. And I'm gonna get everything, measure everything exact, get that old bracket off, and then get everything on the Jeep. Okay, this is what the previous clip should have looked like with everything separated, but I got too excited, jumped the gun. The only thing I didn't remove here is the steering stabilizer bracket just yet, because I want to take some measurements of that. And I used this power built kit from Advanced Auto, model 648626. The tie rod end that's on the pitman arm is a pain, so this saved me right here. When I return this to them, that'll be free. Make sure you open that up from the correct side up. And yeah, before I take this back to Advanced Auto, I just wanted to share this with you. If you're having trouble removing that tie rod end out of that pitman arm, this combination here, this is a long breaker bar, 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter, and then this goes into this puller here. This combination right here with PB blaster and heat, that tie rod end does not stand a chance. That thing's coming out no problem. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then this, open it up from the right side up. This is going back to Advanced Auto today, and great kit, and didn't cost me anything, so that's kind of nice. Maybe a little bit of gas money, but the place is like a mile away. So yeah, that thing does not stand a chance, that tie rod end. All right, I got it fully locked all the way to the passenger side, and there's plenty of clearance between the tie rod and the pumpkin there. And everything else looks like it's clearing pretty good. Yep. Just gotta go get it aligned. All right, I took it over to Firestone and got it aligned. I'm on one of those programs where you pay them $200 one time for a vehicle and you get unlimited alignments. So if you're gonna be doing a lot of steering work or suspension work, as soon as you're done, you know, making changes or modding your vehicle, just you get it there, you get it aligned for free. So at least that's what the program is now. So take advantage of that. But it's been about 50 or 60 miles and the steering feels really good, nice and firm. No more knocking or clicking when I turn left and right, which is great. And that rear part's drag link is doing good. The rest of the parts, they're all doing really good. So I'm happy about, you know, the parts I picked out, and the install went fine. Alignment went fine. They didn't have any problems over there at Firestone. So that's great. That's really good. The next thing up on this is the rear leaf springs. I'm gonna be replacing the rear leaf spring setup in the back. It's currently on OEM leaf springs, which are shot. And then on top of that, they're on 4-inch blocks. So the ride in the back is way too harsh. And of course I'm getting some knocking because of the bushings in the leaf spring eyes, that rubber that's around the inner sleeves there, that's pretty much shot. So I'm getting some noise and a little bit of vibration from that. So I'm really excited about replacing the springs in the back. Springs in the fine are front. Those are 4-inch all leaf spring packs, which are doing great. These are 32-inch tires. I'll probably go up to 33s later on. But so far everything's feeling good, but it'll feel a lot better when I get the rear leaf springs swapped out for an all leaf pack, all leaf spring pack in the rear. So hopefully after that, this thing will just be floating. Other than that, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's feeling good, and I hope everyone's getting to do whatever it is they love doing. And I'll talk to you on the next video.